Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the break. It's time to twist the throttle. This is round 5 of the 2010 Monster Energy Motocross Nationals. We're at Gopher Dunes Raceway, just outside of Tillsonburg, Ontario. The sun is shining, the goat's in the house, Ricky Carmichael's here, and let the sandstorm begin.
All right, folks, we are back. Monster Energy Motovision round number 5 here in Cortland, Ontario, Gopher Dunes, the roughest and toughest track in Canadian motocross. Monster Energy, MXP Magazine, Royal Distributing, Yamaha Canada, Lucas Oil, and of course the fine people at Thor helping us out to get this fine TV show out to you guys. And Coster Buddy, let's get right to it. The buzz here today. Gopher Dunes, what an amazing track. The facility's awesome.
It is just unreal. They changed the track a ton, put different lanes in there, sometimes 3 lanes, some different options. It's kind of more like a US track. I think it's going to be really fast and flowy, and the guys are going to love it. But the heat, Goldie, it's been like 2-week blistering hot. Today's no different, man. Out here in Cortland, smoker.
Smoker. Is that Colton Fasciotti and Jeremy Medaglia getting the top spots in our time qualifying. Max Couchard, $50,000 still on the graphs for that. Tyler Medaglia leading that right now. You know what? Let's go find the girls and get into some action, because today the buzz is high. Gopher Dunes. Let's start it now, guys.
Let's get ready for a day at the beach. MX2, Moto 1.
Okay, Drop G, let's get into that first MX2 Moto here from the dunes. I tell you what, I love the track preparation. There is a ton of people here. We got a spectacular track, and I saw a really dynamic race out there. What did you see?
You know, when I saw what you like to say all the time, a battle of attrition, that moto, it didn't seem like anybody wanted to take the win at the beginning. You had Spencer Knowles grab the whole shot. He goes down over the bars on another leading edge, 9 in a row for those guys with the whole shots. Then Teddy Mayer takes the lead, Sean Wright then takes the lead, and he goes down and gives it to Teddy Mayer. Teddy Mayer looks like, hey, you know what, I'm going to take this. I'm going to take some points from Tyler Medaglia and Sean Wright. Next thing you know, he's laying on the side of the track with a stalled bike. So it seemed like this moto, the longer it got and the more hard and tough it got out there, like we know it's going to be, it's like no one wanted that win. And then finally Sean Wright decided to solidify himself, took that lead, and never looked back.
Some of the things that I liked out there was, of course, Rife. I picked him to actually win this moto only because he's got some mojo going. There's no doubt about that. He had a good battle with Mayer, but you're right, Mayer was able to hold him off and then gapped, and it looks like he had that lead in check. I also like Tyler Medaglia out there, who came all the way back to finish second with a nice pass on Benoit, and Richard Gray with a surprise top 5 finish.
Yeah, also Mike, got to give it up to Benoit. Great ride from him. He was in the top 5 the whole race. He just got he didn't really make any passes, but he got a little lucky when those other guys kind of went down. And then the MX2 class is all about letting amateurs get their feet wet in the pro ranks. Richard Gray and Nathan Bless got a 5th and a 7th in that first moto. That is exactly what we want to see in our sport, and I'm going to say it right now, guys, guess what? Those yellow plates, they're gone, guys. You guys are pros. Sean Wright, congratulations, moto number 1.
I've been around motocross for nearly 40 years and seen a lot of companies come and go. But the commitment by Lucas to support the Outdoor Nationals inspired me to put Lucas high-performance motorcycle oil in my son's race bike. While the bikes have improved dramatically, motocross is still the same sport, where it all began for me and many others. I'm glad Lucas Oil sees how important motocross is. It's always been important to me.
Proud sponsor of the Lucas Oil AMA Motocross Championship Series.
With these big boys on the track, it's going to be a sad NAMI. MX1, Moto 1.
is a big treat for Motovision. We get a little race recap with number 4, Ricky Carmichael, the GOAT. Okay, now I know you were up there with Brian Coster calling the live audio during that race, so you got to see quite a bit of that moto, a rough track. What did you see out there, Ricky?
Well, definitely, like you said, it was definitely rough and really impressive Fasciotti. I mean, the guy was just flowing so good. There's a couple wrecks out there, and at the end of the day, it was a good points day for him. I know he lost a couple weeks ago when he hurt himself, but man, just really impressed. And also how cool this track is. A lot of sand and multi-groove racetrack, a lot of different lines, so riders wouldn't get stuck behind other guys too much. They were moving around, and pretty impressed, no doubt.
It's funny, when John Dowd used to come up and race here, he used to say that it was more difficult than Southwick, and I'm not saying that for comparison's sake, just because of how flat it is and the type of sand. And you saw those lines developing out there. They change all the time in sand, don't they? It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, every lap you come around in the sand, the turn is different. It's either pushed out or they're making a new one. And definitely what John Dowd said, it's a different kind of rough. Southwick is one way, and this track is another way, where this is, with it being flat, like he said, it is much tougher. You get sharp little steep bumps, where Southwick gets a lot like roller bumps. And to me, I think the short little steep ones are harder to deal with, and you got to be on it just because the bike reacts so fast to it, and you can't be sleeping.
Let's talk about the fact that you used to train down in Florida at your house, and you're talking about working with Dungey down there. At your facility, your compound, is it a sand track that you practice on?
Yeah, it's like an intermediate. We have some sand sections, some hard pack, but most of all, it's like intermediate, just a little bit harder pack than this, and got some elevation and stuff, some jumps and decent turns. But I'm really impressed with Gopher Dunes here in this track, and how nice the complex is, and the fans. It's so cool. The fans are so generous here.
One of the things that's interesting, we watched Kyle Keese race around the track in second place for the whole race. Then he had a bike problem in the last lap. What does a rider do mentally to sort of come back in that next moto, or even get over something like that? Because it's a devastation.
Yeah, what a bummer. I mean, especially the guy, he has a daytime job and then he's racing on the weekend. I got so much respect for that guy, and it was a bummer. I mean, he ran out of gas right where we were calling the race from online, and it's just a bummer. These bikes are fuel injected now. The tanks are a little bit smaller, and with this track being such deep sand, they're on the gas all the time, so the fuel mileage isn't too good. But hopefully they'll rebound, top that baby off next moto, and get up there and fight for the win.
The last thing I want to ask you about was that battle between Bobby Canary and Josh DeMuth, which was a gem through the middle of that moto. Yeah. And then all of a sudden DeMuth runs into some lapper trouble, which there seemed to be a lot of on that track. That was a tough crash for DeMuth.
Yeah, it really was. What a bummer, man. The guy was charging. He was behind Canary the whole time. I thought he was going to get by him, and then he's going around the outside, and the guy in front of him kind of shoved over a little bit. I don't even think he knew Josh was there, and Josh got his front end in the loose stuff, and the thing just dug in, and he high-sided, and the bike landed on him. I don't know, I think it might have cut him in his side or whatever, but he got up and kind of limped off a little bit, so that's always a good sign when they get up and kind of limp off. It's better than just laying there. So it's tough, man. Motocross is tough, especially here at Gopher Dunes, it being so rough. These guys got to be on their A-game.
Be a monster! The Monster Energy Motocross Nationals are coming! Sunday, July 25th, St. Julie MX Park. The gate drops at noon for an awesome 5 hours of extreme action sports racing you'll never forget. Get up close to the most intense hole shot, bar-to-bar battles, and huge air. Check CMRCRacing.com. The Monster Energy Motocross Nationals. Sunday, July 25th, St. Julie MX Park. Race goes rain or shine.